Okay, back to the dentist. Alrighty, so unfortunately my dentist had now passed away, so I'm without a dentist. So by this time I'm out in the Mint Hill area of town, and out on the eastern side here, and I happened to get a reference to a guy. Somebody said, I got a great dentist. And I said, you ought to check him out. He's taking people, and he was a guy. He's probably in his early 50s. Again, a really nice guy, and the good thing about him was it just so happened that he had a tractor that we sold at our dealership. He hadn't bought it from us, but he needed parts from time to time, and I got to talking to him about it, and he said, "Oh, it's great. You can bring me parts." And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I can bring them right to you anytime you want them." He said, "That's great." So we struck up a little bit of a friendship there, and he worked on me, and he did a great, fantastic job. And I went to him for a number of years. And then went in to visit him one time, and he said, "I just want to let you know I'm having to retire for health reasons." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I've got some sort of a heart problem, and my doctor says that I'm just going to have to quit because of the tensions and pressures of this job, and the physical exertion sometimes is I'm just going to have to quit." And he just says if you're financially able, just go ahead and quit. So he'd made enough money by then to quit, so he went ahead and retired. About 3 years after he retired, I heard from a neighbor that he had a heart attack one day while he was out on his tractor doing some stuff around the yard. So at least he got to enjoy 3 good years of retirement before he had to move on. But now we get to one of the really interesting people. A lady bought his practice, and rather than change, she got all his records and all that. They contacted me, and I said, "Okay, well, I'm out of a dentist again, so I'm gonna need a record. I'm gonna need a new dentist." So she said, "Well, we've got all your stuff here. Come on in and we'll check you out." And she was a nice lady. She was the first female dentist that I'd ever had. I'd had plenty of female dental assistants, and in fact, a couple of the assistants from my old dentist had stayed on to work with her, so I knew a lot of the people there, and so it was a really easy transition. And she seemed to be a fairly competent dentist. And I would go in, and because of ongoing concerns over my teeth and and the amount of work that they had to do each time, they moved me up to once every 4 months instead of twice a year. I was going 3 times a year, in addition to any other special visits, to fix any particular problems. Those were just the cleanings and inspections where they could, keep track of things. And one day, oh gosh, how long ago was this? It was over 10 years ago. I woke up with a hell of a toothache. I mean, it was a monster. If you've ever had a really, really bad toothache, there's really nothing worse than that. And I was taking lots of painkillers, and went and got the deadening agent at the drugstore that you put on your teeth so that it numbs them out. And by taking a whole lot of that stuff, I was able to actually sleep at night. Well, I called her office and said, "Look, I'm really hurting really bad. I need to come in and have her look at it." And they said, "Well, she's on vacation this week." And I said, "Oh, great, what do I do?" And they said, "Well, just, we'll call in a prescription for you for some more pain, for some really good strong pain meds if you want. She'll be back at the end of the week." And I'm thinking, well, gee, isn't there anybody else you can refer me to? And they said, "Well, no, not really. We'd like to see you here. We've got all your records and we've done all your work here. We think it'd be best if you came to us." I said, "Okay." So I took these pain meds for a week, and they let me sleep at night. They let me work during the day, but all along underneath all that was the pain that I was having there. And so finally, the next week, and I had called every day during this week because they said they would gotten word to her, and that if she could, she would come back early. But every day I called, every day they said, "No, it's going to be another day. No, it's going to be another day." And so finally that Monday she came in, and I was there first thing. And she got to working on me and had to send me in, and that afternoon I had to go get a root canal to save the tooth. and a cap and several other things. And then everything got back to normal. You know, I was still a little ticked about it. She said she just couldn't get back. She had her family down, she had her children down there and everything, and it just wasn't possible to get back any sooner. Not even, she said, I think she might have even told me she wasn't even in the country for most of it. But anyway, so, you know, time goes by and comes time for my regular appointment, and the nurse's assistant, the dentist assistant, calls me and says, we're gonna have to cancel your appointment. And I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, the doctor can't, she's not gonna be able to get in today. She's not feeling well. And I said, okay, well, you know, wish her well. And we set up another appointment for about 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. Well, they call me about 3 weeks later and say, we're gonna have to cancel your appointment. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, she's still not feeling good. Well, the long and short of this is, turns out that she had undiagnosed manic depressive disease. And those days that she was supposedly on vacation and couldn't come in, she was laying on her bed in a state of just total depression, and couldn't even get out of bed, and much less come into work and work on someone's teeth. And the days that she did feel good, she was always really happy, came in, bouncing around, lots of energy, and she would do a lot of work. And so as a result of this, she had to give up her practice. And because she just couldn't, her disease got so bad that she, just couldn't be counted on to come in, and she was losing patients. And so it was easier for her just to sell her practice, just like my previous dentist had done, and move on. So anyway, I moved on to some other dentists. I've had other dentists since then. I'm in a different building now, still near me out in the Midland, North Carolina areas where my dentist is out there. And I believe that 2 or 3 different dentists have come into that building, and I just keep going with them with their practice. But I've had some rough times with dentists, and I almost feel like I ought to warn my dentists, but that their health might be at risk by working on me, because it seems like the guys that work on me, end up with some serious problems. But I'm happy to report again, like I said, they were able to get the tooth out, and this is the day after. And I've got some, just taking some Motrin, just some, professional strength Motrin, I guess they call it. Nothing psychedelic or narcotic. I got that stuff at home too for when I need to sleep, but so far everything's going great. Hopefully that's going to be the last tooth that I need to have out for quite a while, although my dentists, as they always are not, they're hopeful, but they're not promising anything. Every time this new dentist that I have, real nice guy that just bought this practice, I've only had him for about a year, he has the saddest look on his face when I go into his office. I feel like I've disappointed him. Have you ever been to your dentist and he says, tisk, tisk, you're just not doing what I need you to do? And you just feel like you've just let him down somehow, Well, it's my mouth, I'm doing the best I can. This is what I was born with. Now, just to close this up, I'm not griping because my teeth aren't the best in the world. I'm sure that was all due to heredity. And as I've mentioned before here, I'm adopted, so I don't have any idea what to expect. But I am or have been up until now extremely healthy. I've never had a serious medical issue. The only issues I've ever had have resulted from stupidity, like crashing motorcycles and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm very healthy, and I hope to stay that way. And I don't think it's gonna hurt me riding this motorcycle, and it sure does make me feel better. Anyway, that's the tale of my dentistry. And I'd show you the tooth, but I'd gross everybody out. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope your teeth aren't hurting, and remember, brush and floss. Brush and floss. Oh, and rinse. Oh, or spit, whatever. All right, guys, you take care. Bye-bye.